Judica County is brought to you by Whitaker and Hamer, attorneys and counselors at law, your law firm for life.
Welcome back into Judica County Radio. Your hosts are Josh Whitaker and Joe Hamer. They're the managing partners at Whitaker and Hamer Law Firm. Offices located Raleigh, Garner, Clayton, Goldsboro, Fuquay, Varina, Gastonia, and Morehead City. They are practicing attorneys here in North Carolina. And the motto is, Whitaker and Hamer, your law firm for life. If you've got a legal situation that you are facing, you've got some questions, you can get some answers by calling Whitaker and Hamer, 800-659-1186. That's 800-659-1186. Leave your contact information, briefly what the call's about, and an attorney with Whitaker and Hamer will be in touch. And you can always email your questions to the show, and we'll answer them on a future broadcast. info@judicacounty.com. That's info@judicacounty.com. Josh?
All right. Well, we're going to keep on keeping on with the estate planning theme, specifically questions about wills. And so I've got my next question queued up here. I'm adding a little bit to it. So the question is, I thought having a will avoids probate. And then I'm adding a little question. I'm adding, what's the deal with that? That's what I'm adding to that.
I like that. I like how you did your hands there. I like that. Hey.
I thought having a will avoids probate. What's the deal with that?
Yeah, no, that's the deal is that you thought wrong. Theoretical question, asker person. We would refer to probate as the involvement of the clerk of court, having to go down to the courthouse in any fashion. And having a will in and of itself, that
avoids intestacy.
It avoids intestacy, exactly. So it avoids everything passing by statute. But you still have to take that will, and you literally have to probate that will. That is the term for what you're going to do with that will. So, even in an estate plan, where if we've drafted your estate plan and we've crafted it super carefully, and we've made sure to take care of all of the conveyances of everything that you own outside of probate, meaning that everything's going to pass, whether it's already in a trust, however that may be, we're still going to craft a will for you, right? Because it's kind of a catch-all. It's a fail-safe, right? Because, you could have some things that you acquire after the fact that aren't titled in the trust name. There's all sorts of situations where you may still need that will to be probated to get everything where you want it to go. So no, having that will does not in and of itself avoid probate. And a lot of times even if you've done everything you can to avoid probate, you're still going to want to have the will just in case.
Yeah. I always make the joke, we'll have people come in and really just plan everything they can. And a lot of times that involves getting things into trust. Because, trust don't die, so getting things into vehicles or situations where upon your death, they're automatically going to go to where you want it to go without probate. But there's still always a will, because there's always I make the joke, boat trailer. No one ever remembers to get their boat trailer titled into their trust name, right?
That's right.
So everybody has a boat trailer or a car they inherited or something that has a title to it that has to go through probate. So the will in a perfect estate plan, the will's just there just in case.
And in a perfect estate plan, you're not probating, right?
Right. In a perfect estate plan,
you take it, you ball it up, you throw it in the trash.
Yeah. In a perfect estate plan, your heirs are just going to keep on moving. Nothing really changes for them. You can plan it to that with that level of preciseness isn't a word.
But but it is now. If you say it on the radio, it's a word. We should make up some more
precision.
Words. Yeah, with precision. Yeah. I like that.
But yeah, the will, that's what the will controls. The will controls probate. And we talk about a lot of times, people we'll talk about a blended family situation where two spouses get married and they have kids from prior relationships. And so it's a blended family. And maybe one of the spouses want to make sure upon their death, their children get certain things. And so they'll make out a will, leaving certain things to them. And then when they pass away, none of that stuff is available. And the will, there's nothing going into probate. And then they accidentally disinherit their children. So that happens. But the will can only control what's actually a probate asset. And the goal is, by the time you pass away, you don't have any probate assets. Those are all in other places that don't need anything to be probated.
That would be my recommendation. Maybe you're a person that just loves probate and loves to go down to the courthouse and visit your friends and the nice ladies in the clerk's office. And in that case, by all means, let's maximize the probating of your estate. But
probate, probate's slow. Probate is a
Yeah.
slow process. You're dealing with, it doesn't matter how good the clerks are down at the courthouse.
And they're fantastic. If you're listening, you're a clerk.
Yeah, we love you to death.
We love you. You're the best that there is.
But wouldn't it be easier not to have to report, not for your executor, not to have to report everything that you own? It's a public record, right? That my grandma's probate file, I pulled it the other day from the 90s just because I was
just
down
for fun.
there. Yeah, just because it was there.
Just for fun.
It's there. It's a public record and it's there forever. And if you get everything over into a trust, you make everything non-probate, then it's not. You don't have to go through it.
Well, now you're making me want to have a estate, so my grandkids will go back and pull my estate file
and have
and remember
you.
Yeah. Do you remember Grandpa's boat trailer?
He forgot to put it in his trust.
He didn't put it in his trust, man.
Those boat trailers, man. Boat trailers and oh man, I was trying to think. I had a good example and it left me. But trailers in general, never make it into the trust. They never
Except
get
for when you're dealing with the law firm of Whitaker and Hamer.
I mean, that's one of our questions.
Trailer specialists.
How many boat trailers you hold on to? How many trailers you got, big man?
If you don't have at least 2 boat trailers, you're gonna have a tough time getting in the door for a consultation.
I tell you what, man, I got one boat trailer, and every year I had to do something to it. I got to put new tires on it this year.
Yeah, that's your mistake. That's your mistake, man. Having nice things. Yeah.
But I don't know, man. The other folks out there can probably, but your boat trailer is never ready for your boat when it comes to winter. Like my boat's still in the water. I gotta get it out.
Keep it in there, man. What's the worst that can happen?
Oh, it gets dirty. It gets so dirty. You gotta change the oil. You gotta do stuff.
I don't know boats very well, man. I don't know boats.
All right, here's a question. I don't like this question, but I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Do I really need an attorney to draft my will?
Yeah, come on. I mean, technically speaking, technically speaking, not really.
I was in it. No, you don't. You do not have to have an attorney to probate your will in North Carolina. There's
to draft your will. You asked draft. You didn't say probate.
Oh, what did I say?
You said draft. To draft your will. I'm pretty sure you said draft.
Let me look at my question. Do I really need an attorney to draft my will? You're right.
Yeah.
No,
but we could ask both questions.
You don't have to have an attorney to draft your will. There's statutes that allow you to draft what we call a holographic will, which is one that you've written yourself. Sometimes the statutes allow you to even do a verbal will, right? If you're on death's door, certain circumstances are met. Sometimes. So you don't have to have an attorney, but you probably want one.
Yeah. We spent this entire show talking about avoiding probate.
I was in an estate. I was in an estate. Somebody was trying to sell a house here recently, so we were representing a buyer who wanted to purchase property. I went down and pulled an estate file, and it was about 15 years old, handwritten will. We'd call that a holographic will. So a handwritten will, nonsensical. Yeah. It made no sense. It had, anyway, this person had died with real property, and the clerks couldn't even tell what she was trying to do with the real property. So it was basically treated like the will.
Well, we see that all the time with deeds too, man. You have folks who come in. I mean, I've seen this happen where we'll have somebody who comes in and they want us to prepare a deed for them, and the preceding deed in the chain of title is one of those self-help ones where somebody's just done it themselves. And I've had to tell people straight up, like, you don't even own this property, brother. Like, this isn't yours. Like, the deed that you put together isn't a deed. Like, this is invalid. Like, I don't understand how the clerk lets you record the register of deeds, but they did. But it doesn't matter. Like, it means nothing.
Yeah, people have a tough time with that. And I am all for, God forbid, I don't want to pay anybody money when I don't have to pay someone money.
Yeah.
But you also can't, you're talking about, your most valuable assets. This deed example, you're talking about a house, or a will example, you're talking about a house. Usually your house is the most valuable asset you have. And even if you have a lot of assets, it's still one of the most valuable assets you have. And just to dial up a website and do a self-help deed, hoping, a lot of times they use legal terms that this state doesn't really use, or they try to create remainder interest that this state doesn't honor, or they leave out legal descriptions.
It's like playing Russian roulette, my brother. Like, you don't have to have an attorney to do your will. Like, I could come to your house and I could fix your septic tank for you.
Right.
But you're going to have poop everywhere. You know?
I was gonna use the dentist example. I could come to your house and pull your tooth out.
Yeah, I couldn't say you're going to have poop everywhere, though, if I used that example. I guess I could have, but kind of dentist are you?
The answer to that question is you absolutely don't have to have an attorney to draft your will.
But I would not advise it.
Yeah, why? Yeah. Attorneys wouldn't advise you to do that.
Yeah.
Judica County Radio, your host, Josh Whitaker and Joe Hamer, managing partners, Whitaker and Hamer Law Firm. We are talking about wills and the importance of having them. And again, a question and answer show for you today. If you have your own legal situation you're facing, need answers to those questions, you can always call the firm, 800-659-1186. That's 800-659-1186. Leave your contact information, briefly what the call is about, and an attorney with Whitaker and Hamer will be in touch. And you can always email your questions to the show, info@judicacounty.com. We'll answer those on a future program. We're back to wrap it up right after this.